Hi guys, it's me, just Machine again, and the holidays are coming. The holidays are coming. Yes, indeed. For this video, I will be dedicated to the holiday season in December of 2025. I shall be looking at a movie that doesn't pertain to Christmas or the holiday season in generality. But yeah, there's a toys. And one but in particular called the Goo Guy Doll named Chucky. And this franchise, the Child's Play franchise, has been around for a while now. So I figured that being that it's free on YouTube right now, and being that I love these movies. I figured I will talk about them during a time when toys are a big thing nowadays, especially when someone says to only buy $2 for your kids rather than 37. So I will talk about the first Child's Play movie this year for December. And I may have enough time to do two of them, but we'll save that for a different day, if possible. So anyway, this is kind of like the reverse of Toy Story, because in the movie Toy Story, obviously I did that last year, but there's a kid named Andy who has toys that are they come alive at night. Usually they don't reveal themselves to be alive or conscious to him till afterwards. Maybe not even then. Just one kid said, and he said, the toys are alive and all that stuff. Toys are alive. So that scares the Jesus out of anybody, especially Sid. And but in this one, they have a kid named Andy, kind of weird and not. I think that this movie could influence Toy Story in that regard, because it'd be pretty coincidental if they have a kid with a toy that comes alive. Now, granted, this movie is a horror movie. It's more of a rated R movie because of all the blood guts and all the other stuff too. So this movie is much more adult than Toy Story is. Whereas the Toy Story is more whimsical and fantastical and all that. This is just the main star Chucky will kick in the balls and feed them to you. And yeah, that's pretty good. That movie, that thing is pretty good. And yeah, the movie Toy Story was has been a fun childhood classic. This one was a fun classic, but in the adult genre, and it's great because of it. Now, what's important to know is that the main character is named Chucky, and the guy that possessed Chucky with his own soul is named Charlie Lee Ray, a murderer and a psychopath. Now, I think it's very funny that Chucky is actually a nickname you give to someone that's named Charlie Brown, Chuck, and all that stuff. So that's very funny to me, at least. Wouldn't it be funny if the guy would transfer his soul into, say, like a Kindle or like I don't know, like like someone from Small Soldiers, the Sergeant, which I'm gonna be covering that one too for Christmas too, because they're evil toys. Oh yeah, Chip Hazard. Wouldn't it be great if he transferred his soul into Chip Hazard? That would be awesome. But yeah, this movie is great for that, and for other reasons, which we'll get into later on. But also, the doesn't matter is that this movie is a staple of the 80s, and the latest movies will come out in the 90s, and so on and so forth. But the point is that the word Chucky is synonymous with this character and the voice actor Brad Dourif. But the word Chucky doesn't actually come into play until later on in the title of the movies. So I think it's like 4 or 5 that number 4 and number 5 that they have the Chucky in there. Bride of Chucky and She of Chucky, respectively. So that's actually kind of fascinating that everyone always says, oh, I'm going to see Chucky number 1 or number 2 or 3. And they're like, what the hell are you talking about? But it's Chucky. Oh, you mean Child's Play. And then they'd be like, what the hell is that? In any case, this movie is about Chucky, Charlie Ray. And he gets a soul possessed. He transfers his own soul into something. A Google doll. Which by itself is a little bit creepy, the doll. And it actually looks a little bit like Mark Hamill in some instances. But anyway, we all start out with this cop who's chasing Charlie D. Ray down the street after he did like some horrific crime, murder or something worse possibly, and he's shooting at the bad guy, and he runs into his toy store with a whole mess of good guy dolls. Now, good guy dolls are more like Furbies, or as I Tickle Me Elmo, where it's like a big, massive amount of hype and fandom for this one character that has like its own TV show and whatever. So, yeah. Kind of remember me that in this new hot toy for Chris, the holiday season. So, I personally didn't like Tickle Me Elmo. I personally didn't like the Furby dolls. But I'll tell you one thing that I was into, and my mother got involved in the Black Friday shopping craze because I wasn't brave enough to deal with all that. But the Xbox 360, my mother, God bless her soul, went out there and fought tooth and nail for me for my very own, which would have a breakdown couple years ago, or more than 10 years ago actually. So it kept on ticking. Kept on ticking. So in any case, the Good Guy doll is like this whole big new fangled like Turbo Man and Dingle all way. Anyway, it seems okay for little kids, for a little bit creepy, but it'll be a lot more creepy shortly. So, what's the name? So Charlie Ray Charlie Ray goes into the toy store to evade the police, and he's shot fatally in the chest area, so he has to transfer his soul via voodoo um, uh, ritual, and to do so he has to speak in, I think it's Haitian or maybe Creole. Like at one point, some of the words sound a little French, so I'm gonna say Creole. So anyway, he's repeating these words, and it's funny. I would think that that with being shot in the chest would be enough to put someone down for good, but no, he's running around in the store. He's chanting out these words to this doll, right into quietly dying right there, and it gets a nice little lightning effect when he does so, enough to actually shatter the glass on the ceiling of the toy store, which I don't know how it's possible to actually put lightning bolt through glass. It might be easy, it might be hard, but it's just something that I wouldn't wonder about. So also another thing too is that he says all these voodoo words and whatnot to transfer his soul to the toy doll. But yet, on the other hand, he says, give me the power, I beg of you. So that's in English. So the voodoo priest who taught me these words, which was later on, does he actually say, those words in English whenever he taught this spelled to somebody? Anyway, the whole place burned down. It burned down, and the body is nowhere to be found. Neither is Charlie Ray. Not to be confused with Ray Charles. He's a legend in his own right, but so we cut to this working mother and this kid played by Chris Sarandon. Susan Sarandon's little baby boy, and and so he's like all hyped up and excited and stuff because it's his birthday, and the mother has to still buy his gift, and the kid wants a good guy doll. He sings the song and all that, the good guy theme song. But the funny is that the kid gives his mother breakfast in bed. I have no idea why a kid on his own birthday would give his mother breakfast in bed. That's kind of confusing to me. And so she ends up getting a big she ends up having to buy a last minute toy from this homeless guy. And he's nice enough that he sells her a doll, even though I would be questioning it. Why would a homeless bum have a brand new toy that's like a big it toy? Did he steal it? Did he rob someone? Did he murder for it? Or whatever. So he also wishes her Merry Christmas, which is really nice. So later on, when she wants information from him about it, he ends up trying to he ends up trying to trump her. And if you know what I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. So anyway, it automatically takes it down not for him. He doesn't try to do that to her. So anyway, the woman wanted to spend time with her kid on his birthday, but the boss is being a hard ass. So the boss at her place of work doesn't want her to do it. So she gets best friend Maggie, which let me just stop right now and say that Maggie will forever be known as the Simpsons character to me. She's excellent. She got the voice of James Earl Jones, and she's also and she got the voice of Elizabeth Taylor too. And she's also possessed by the devil himself, better than a boy. So anyway, she gets her Aunt Maggie to take care of her, take care of the kid for a day. And she says, as a joke, that it'd be the best age 10 months. Now, that kind of thing is funny all that, but later on, when Chucky says it, got a date with a 6-year-old boy, it's pretty ooh and creepy, and I want that's too much for me to take care of. So anyway, Chucky wants to hear about his partner in crime, or ex-partner in crime, and he wants to put on the news, Channel 9, I believe, to which the woman doesn't want to watch that at the moment. So she told Chucky, she told the kid no, but the kid said Chucky wants to watch the movie, and Andy wants to watch, Andy said that Chucky wants to watch the news, and he thinks that the kid wants to watch the news because it's a toy. It'd be like this telling me, hey, I want to watch the news, but it's a harmless toy. So she thinks that he wants to watch the news. What a 6-year-old kid wants to watch the news? I mean, honestly, I can't think of a single kid that young that won't watch the news. They want to watch cartoons, they want to watch Power Rangers, they want to watch something to do with the Ninja Turtles, for example. They don't want to watch the news, so that should be the number one tip-off. That Chucky is not what he seems. He's more than meets the eye. So anyway, you show him turning his head too, and then it said too that Chucky also says like a bunch of phrases that are pre-programmed into him, like Teddy Ruxpin or like a Furby doll or something like that. But wouldn't it be funny if Charlie Ray were to say something that where he thinks that the Chucky doll would say, but that he isn't programmed to do it anyway, like that. I don't know, hi, I'm Chucky. I want to help you out and do all kinds of good things for everybody. Like something like that. And then those two wouldn't say that, and then he would be outed as being fake. Or even better, if the doll that he chose to transfer his soul to wouldn't have the same articulation as a human body. Like say, if you were to transfer himself into a Barbie doll or a G.I. Joe figurine, which can't really move that much, but meanwhile, Chucky had the same movement as a baby or young child or whatever. So they chose that during this time do like a cool first person mode in killing in his Chucky vision, if you will. So that was very fun to see them actually strap on the camera into a little person or maybe a little kid do that. And pretty soon they're going to be having do the swinging of the knife like in the movie Halloween and the remake. So anyway, they have killing the woman Maggie, and you know that a lot of people found that that she sold and that she should just fall down right there, but no, she goes back like 5 feet to the window and fall out the window and stuff. But I will defend that a little bit, even though it's kind of very silly and stuff, because I have been known to lose my balance on something, on like floor surface or something, and then I've been when I'm trying to regain my balance again before I fall down. I have been known to take giant steps backwards to try to right myself, and in so doing, I could so see that happening where she fell out the window like that very clumsily. Plus for the fact that she's wearing high heels, so that also will put you off balance. The person that invents high heels should be shot dead right then and there for inventing such a horrible torture device for young women's feet. But anyway, that was some Myth Sapphire, by the way. So anyway, they have Chucky killed the woman with like an axe or something, or some kind of other weapon or something. Either that or she could stall them to fall out the window. So she dies, and everybody all traumatized by it, especially Andy. And the thing is that he's trying to say that it's the toy that did it, Chucky. But everyone else is saying that it's just a stupid toy. It can't do anything, it can't harm you, it can only say its phrases and be posable and that kind of thing. So, very good at the disguise for a mass murderer. So anyway, they have this part where we got ends up traveling around the city with Andy in Chicago. Now, I have the question, where would people allow a little kid to go around town with a good doll? I mean, the doll is almost as big as he is. So, that would mean a very restricted motion, and it's gotta be cold all day because it's like a holiday season and whatnot. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting that they would allow that. You would think there'd be some kind of police or teacher or something or other in high power to say, come with me, kid. You're alone and all that. But no, they show him on the train. They show him going to this guy's house. I think it's supposed to be the ex-partner, which I think read out Charlie Ray before he did the soul transfer and stuff. So, yeah, he eventually gets killed by Chucky. Again, with the first person mode. It's really sweet, because they only do it like a few more times after that's about it. So, he killed him by putting on the gas in the stove. Okay? So then, keep in mind too, is that all these things that Chucky does are basically the same as, say, with the same strength as you would expect from a little kid or toddler. Basic functions of something like that. Although, much later in the movie, they show him like piercing a seat with a knife, trying to kill the cop. And they show him trying to choke him out with a Rottweiler, or a makeshift Rottweiler. He tried to strangle the mother. He tries to he bites her. He stabs people. You know, that those things, apart from the stabbing and the knife stuff, is not something that a toddler can do. You know, if a little kid were to try to strangle me with a Rottweiler or any cable or anything, I'd be like, that tickles. Quit, stop doing that little shit. And then they grab the wire from him and call his mommy and something like that. But you know, still, it's kind of stupid and lame. So anyway, I like the whole stealth killable thing, being that since everyone just doesn't really suspect a toy of killing people. You know, it's always good to be suspicious of your killers, but usually when people assume that other people kill others, they usually think of like a rogue person or a human being. So it's really nice to have a nice stealth kill murderer. And let's see here, and then after a little while, trying to convince people that Chucky is a toy and no one believes him. Even his own mother thought that he's crazy. And at one point, the mother actually sent him to a psych ward. And the thing is that it's funny because he doesn't want the kid to be analyzed or whatever. Because he just found out that he has to transfer his soul to the first person that he revealed himself to, by the voodoo credit told him how to do it. Papa Midnight. If anyone watched Constantine, that's a reference to that. So when Woody at this point he had bitten the mother, he tried to stab the cop, but the only thing is that the first person who he told him about his secret to was 6-year-old Andy. So he got transferred to the kid, and he goes over to the voodoo priest, and he said, no, I need your help to do this. And it's funny because the guy was like, I'm not helping you, you're an abomination of nature. Yeah, after you found out that he was a murderer and all this stuff, so that was okay, right? That was fine to teach him how to transfer your soul into something. That was okay. That was fine. But when you found the thing that he wanted to transfer to a little kid, that drew the line. That crossed over into bad territory. And then he was like, you know, Chucky was like, I'm gonna be 6 years old again. Yay! I'm gonna be 6 years old again. I'm gonna be able to grow up as a little terror monster. But the only thing is that the priest doesn't want to do it originally. He's very hesitant in taking this already monstrified doll there and transfer his soul to the doll. But and he doesn't want to teach him how to transfer himself to another human being because he's a monster. But Chucky finds a way to convince him. He keeps a little voodoo doll of himself in like a drawer or something, and Chucky finds it and starts torturing himself with it, torturing the guy with it, until he finally gives up the secret that transferring his soul to somebody else because they become a human and they suffer from the same weaknesses as a human does, including the fact that we humans can survive in a cardboard box for unlimited amount of time. Apparently, by the way, if Charlie Ray transfers his soul into the doll, how did the doll get back into the box? At the beginning of the movie. So anyway, they have now first of all, yeah, some questions about the scene big time. You know it's enjoyable to see a voodoo guy get the voodoo turned on him, which I would think that a priest like that would have some kind of self-protection with that kind of thing. But let me just say that why would the voodoo priest have a doll of himself for this very purpose? You know, in case a psychopath like Charlie Ray were to find him and were to exploit the weakness. Second of all, why would you leave that in just a common drawer? You know, where anybody can just pick it up and use it against you. Third of all, why wouldn't you put it in some kind of safe or something, or get rid of it altogether? Fourth of all, for a voodoo to work with that, you would have to have like a piece of hair or a piece of clothing from the individual that you wanted to affect. So so I didn't see any type of personal effects on the doll itself. So it was fun to see a doll manipulating the doll to get information out of the guy. And also, one more thing too with that. Why would you have your only weakness to yourself in doll form running around, you know, so close to you? It'd be like having the Zelda boss that, or say, a video game boss that flashes his weakness right there for someone to shoot or exploit. It turns out that look what Chucky does. He breaks his arm, he breaks his leg. And it's really funny to see him roaming and writhing in pain, all because of his stupidity. I mean, if I had a voodoo doll like that, well, first of all, I wouldn't have it. Yeah, I would know the danger it poses, and I would put it in a safe or something. Or I would cast like a spell on myself so that I would be protected at least a little bit from it. So anyway, he looks alive enough to let the cops know, what's going on to protect the kid. So my mother ends up bringing Andy to a psychiatrist. And we know how funny psychiatrists are from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And it's real funny that they have this guy there, this doctor that tried to give English like a common thing, a sedative. and he tried to inject Andy, but then Andy struggles and he tried to run away from him and tried to run away because he was afraid that Chucky would get him in thoughts. I don't know if he's aware of the soul transfer yet, but that's kind of interesting. And the way that the Dr. grabs Andy, he's like overly forceful and trying to get him with the syringe until Chucky ends up stabbing him in the leg and knock him on the ground and putting the electrodes on his head to be like the electroshock therapy that he gives the other children. So it's trying to see like how do you like it now as he's getting shocked to the point that he compulses and that it's way overpowered where it ends up making his mouth all bloody, teeth all bloody, and then he dies, getting great pride. So that was a very enjoyable scene because I never see that kind of thing being overpowered. No, going over the medical allowance. I know that electroshock can kill someone like in the Green Mile, but I never actually saw where it's like, in a medical setting being like that. Anyway, Andy was in the rig the whole time because, Chucky was alive and he might kill people. And he gets shot, he gets, Leon gets burned up alive, and then he gets his head blown off because, humans can have our heads blown to pieces or blown off and we would still come about. So leaving the apartment where Miss Maggie was killed too, they have a mother and a cop and Chucky and after a little while Chucky ends up getting the mother and the son all alone there in the beginning of the scene, and she keeps saying that Chucky talked to her if he doesn't she can throw him in the fireplace. Where it's mirrored in this movie that he does try to kill her. That fireplace scene had been earlier in the movie, by the way, when she realized that during this whole time that he was talking and moving around without his diaries. Something that I don't think even Charlie Ray thought of in the first place. But anyway, I'm the only other time that I saw branded batteries like that were in the Hess trucks. When they come with Hess batteries and all that. So this happened. Anyway, in this scene, Chucky again tried to attack the mother by biting her, and he ends up putting in the fireplace, and then the cover to the fireplace is what keeps him at bay. And I like this scene because he's trying to light a match, trying to get matches, but keeping him also in the fireplace, holding him there, preventing him. If he moves, he gets out. But kids from Jurassic Park can learn a lot from this because in that movie they were the adults were trying to get the check and trying to hold the raptors behind the door. And Andy, 6 years old, mind you, runs over, gets matches, and himself said that Chucky when Chucky said, but Andy will be friends at the end. And then Andy, like a boss, says to him, "This is the end, friend." And he lights the match and then burns the bastard alive. And nothing bad ever happens after that. So you see, when they call the cop that gained their lives come back, he ends up shooting the Chucky doll in the face because he keeps coming like a little person version of the Terminator. They keep coming and coming and coming for Andy and the mother too, and he's all blackened. One eyeball is missing, like in the Terminator movies, and he's all melted plastic, no hair, no, you can barely see the clothes that he's got. And it's real funny that he shoots off his head, he shoots off his arm, his right arm actually, and that's that. So then he drops down. He thinks he did, but then he ends up going to another cop around, and he ends up scaring the cop, and he grabs the he calls into a vent. I don't know how that's possible with overarm and burnt up and all that. Strength is beyond anything that we've ever seen so far. But he ends up going into a vent from a single cop with his right arm, even though that was shot off. The only one that's left is his left arm, and the way the guy is manipulated out of the vent is Chucky would have to be on his back when he comes out, if it really is his left arm. But because he's really there, not a CGI and stuff, you gotta assume they made whoopsie when it came to the which arm was shot off. So then they're like, you gotta shoot him in the heart. Us humans can only be defeated by shooting us in the heart. Those of us who have hearts left. So anyway, they shoot him in the heart, and he said no, even though he's got no head. And it's funny because when he shot, he's jumped all the way back real fast. It's no, pow, and he flies back like he got his cheek attached or something. And it's very cool because I love this movie pieces because of those scenes, because this doll is like Terminator, come back for it more and more. And I like the way they always have real personal way a teller playing Chucky whenever he's running away or something like that, or doing the POV shot. And it really does it really is nice that they show that he's really there. If they did nowadays, they would do it with CGI or something or other. It wouldn't be as effective. And I like when he goes and this by head says, "Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?" And as you seen it goes from Brad Dourif's voice to the regular guy recording of the voice. It's very creepy, very funny, and very good. Brad Dourif is a legend doing this voice, doing the voice of Chucky, which I believe is his real voice, but whatever. And I feel that it was a big step for when he did the voice for Bullet Club in the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest again. This movie began the legacy of Chucky and Child's Play, and I'm glad I saw it. I've seen all the Chucky movies, all the Child's Play movies, except the remake with Mark Hamill as Chucky, which really I have read comments that it looks like Mark Hamill when he's articulated, when he's moving his face around and stuff. That's not a reference to the movie, by the way. But it is funny to notice that. And I just love all the abuse that this looks like to take all the time. And that it's kind of unbelievable how strong he is. Pretty soon they're gonna make him so he can fly. But thank God he didn't do that. But I thank you for watching my brand video about the original Child's Play, making me eat the animatronic effects more like claymation, I think. Excellent for this movie. The voice, excellent. The acting on the kid, excellent. The acting on the mother and the cops, excellent. The murder effect of him stepping to the seat to get the cop was excellent. The part about him, the blood cuts and cracking the bones, for the voodoo guy were excellent. Everything was good. Although I do have to question why the partner in crime had to live in an apartment that was just one apartment building in pretty much an slot, like Joe's apartment. That kind of bugged me a little bit. But besides that, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I highly recommend it to you guys. Anyway, I like the way the homeless guy in the beginning of the movie was like, Merry Christmas. And then the end of the movie was like, I'm gonna have my way with you. Get your information. And then the cop ends up beat the crap out of him and get the information anyway. Right in the pills. So yeah, I did this for the holiday season in December 2025 because it's about toys and getting a lot of pain in the movie. So yeah, thank you. Silver Pool, because it's awesome. The movie is great. The music is great too. Everything is wonderful. And I think that there's a hopscotch musical number in it too, which is entry for me because I love that instrument. So, if you guys like what you see here and you want to see more of my videos, you can leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me for future information on my channel by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707, or you can follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer at PMastonPro. Also, my email is jjviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, if anyone likes Brad Dourif or these movies, Child's Play, I want to wish you a happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, and in general, Happy Holidays. Peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video. All you girls and guys and intelligent. Salutations. Sayonara. Let me ascend.